What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. Say hello to my co-host Heather C.
Hi.
So MILF Manor. So we're doing the TLC weekly roundup. MILF Manor aired Sunday, and we need to talk about it. So this is the George Mossey Show, and we are on season 1 and episode 6 of MILF Manor. And I am gonna say this: I still don't know exactly what's going on. I don't know what's the end game. I don't know how you win. I just know that apparently people can be voted off the villa of the island, and people are trying to find connections. And I don't know how this is gonna end because we're 6 episodes in, and we don't know what's going on. Okay, so Stephanie and OG Ryan have ended this love triangle between Gabriel and them for good. Like it's for real done. Stephanie is over it. Ryan actually called Stephanie old. He was like, "You're too old to be lying to me and doing these things to me," which was pretty harsh because MILFs are not allowed to be called old. They are hot moms, they are mature moms, but you do not use that O word. That O word is unacceptable in the house. So Stephanie is completely done. And finally, Ryan has decided to move on and he has set his eyes on Paula. And if you remember earlier in the season, Ryan and Paula did go on a date. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be saying OG Ryan because there is another Ryan. So OG Ryan and Paula went on a date and they were having a decent connection. And Ryan wanted to kiss Paula, and Paula had decided that he was moving too fast. And that kind of stopped in its tracks. But now they revisited that connection and they went on a date at the pier and they seem to be vibing, right? I feel like they're vibing. And I'm glad that Ryan has moved on from Stephanie because I feel like he was giving her too much energy. And this is a dating competition. So I want him to open up to dating people other than Stephanie, right?
Yeah, I kind of see like what's going on with these different types of relationships and why they're working and why they're not working. I actually think that OG Ryan is a better match with Paola because I just feel like she has such like chilled, laid back vibe. She kind of knows like what the deal is and just the way like her and like her son is, they're just very kind of like just matured, laid back, and I feel like OG Ryan kinda, like, vibes with that, like, he knows what he wants. He's young, but he's 30, I think,
Yep.
right? And he's a little older than, some of the other guys. I almost said boys, some of the other guys on the show, and I think like he's just like, okay, I know what I want with my life. And I think that they'll be a good match because they seem like they're on the same page. As far as Stephanie is, I feel like she's there to kind of date around, have that youthfulness. And I feel like she's going to get that with Gabriel because Gabriel is like real fun, real playful. I feel like when she's around him, like even when they were doing like a little dance party and everything, and the one episode, I thought that they were so cute. It was kind of like the prom vibes. Remember that? They were
Oh, yeah.
dancing together. She was kind of like a teenager, dancing with her friends and stuff. Like I think that they're a really good match with each other. So I feel bad for Ryan because I know that he wanted to be with her, but I think he'll be much happier with Paola.
So let's talk about this 2-minute blind massage. So everyone gets blindfolded, and the sons have to massage the mothers. The
Mm.
MILFs are going to grade the sons on their massage skills. Now, we watched Billy massage Kelly, and Kelly gave him absolutely nothing. And she actually graded him a 1. She was like, "This was like the worst possible massage I've gotten. Like, I felt like he had never touched a woman before." And she was just like, "This is horrible," which is ironic because they and in real life, outside of blindfolds, Kelly and Billy were vibing. So the idea that putting a blindfold on makes her completely unattracted to him says a lot, right? So this
Yeah.
is very like superficial, right? So and we also watched Jimmy show us his rowing technique when it comes to massaging. He lathers his whole body up with oil and he goes from top to bottom. So when they announced that Jimmy had won the competition, I wasn't really surprised because I was like, Jimmy was like, "I'm not afraid to go for the booty, I'm not afraid to get all in there." And I was like, well, I'm gonna say that the moms or the milfs are really gonna enjoy that because they're looking for someone who isn't scared to go in there. And I feel like the other guys were really scared. And I just want to say this: I'm so sorry to Gabriel. He got his mom, April Jane. He was literally massaging his mom, and this is
That's
horrible.
so crazy.
There will be years of therapy, and TLC, you should probably cover that right? Because you put him through that. He didn't ask for this. Like, you guys should probably cover that therapy because he was touching her and he was just like, I don't know if I should vomit or just like remove myself from the island or this planet, like at this point. So Jimmy gets a date. He wins a date because he was the best 2-minute blind massage guy. And of all people, he chooses Charlene. Right. So Charlene has definitely not been vibing with anyone in the house. Like, she has been on different dates. She went on a date with Jose and she really likes Jose, but Jose and Charlene didn't really hit it off. So Jimmy was like, I'm going to see if we have a vibe. And they were doing good up until Charlene, was Charlene. She was like, oh, well, we should move all this food off this table and we should start massaging each other. And Jimmy's like, I'm just not into that. That's too upfront. And he's like, she's just in your face. And I think the age gap between the people on this show is really showing because the younger guys are not into women who are open, like, and say exactly what they want and how they feel. Like, for some reason, they're kind of turned off by that. And I don't know. I respect a woman who knows what she wants and she's open and honest with me, because can you imagine going on a whole date, spending hours with someone, just at the end of the date for that woman to say, no, this isn't gonna work. Like, Charlene will tell you right off the bat she's feeling you. She would love for things to go to the next level. And it seems like the guys don't appreciate that. I feel like Charlene is a good woman, and I feel like they should appreciate her honesty. And she knows what she wants. Like, what's more hot than a woman who knows what she wants?
Maybe he's just not connecting with her, like, with her, like, physical appearance. Like, maybe he's just not attracted to her, and that's causing him to be turned off, because let's not forget, he was the same one that said he liked to explore certain
Oh,
aspects of
yeah.
women's bodies.
The
So
pink eye. We call it the pink eye situation here at the George Mossey show.
exactly. So I'm not going to go ahead and say that he's Mr. Innocent by any means whatsoever, but also probably because she is older and she is a mom, he probably still has that, okay, that's just kind of like uncomfortable, like maybe if it was somebody his age group, he would be able to deal with it a little bit better. But she definitely is a take all type woman. She knows what she wants. She's not trying to play with nobody. I mean, her son is a whole exotic dancer. So she is like that family, just they know what they want. They're like comfortable with their sexuality, they are comfortable with everything, and she just puts it out there. So there's no guessing. And I am not afraid of that type of stuff. Like, tell me, like, why should we guess? You know? So just I don't know. I don't think that he's a good match for her though. And I think that
So,
the whole data proved it.
who do you think is a good match in the house for Charlene? Because we're 6 episodes in and we haven't seen a good match for Charlene yet. And I'm worried.
Okay. I actually want to see her go on a date with 2 different people, okay?
Okay.
I want to see her go on a date with the new Ryan, because I feel
Okay.
like he didn't get a chance to really do much of anything since he's been on. I know he's kind of
Hmm.
like laid back and observing and stuff, but honey, if you want something, you need to dive right in and go get what you want, because you're going to miss your opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think the other person that I want to see her go with would be maybe Jose, because I feel like he could tame her,
Well,
because
if you
he's very
remember,
passionate.
they did go on the disco date together. Do you remember? They did go on the disco date together and they didn't have good communication and conversation. So do you feel like it was a missed opportunity? Because they did get that chance.
I do. I feel like they need like a real date. Like one where like kind of how they did, like where it was kind of like the food, like the picnicky vibes. Cause she'll probably be like very strong minded, like this is what I want. And then with him, he's more passionate. He's a very passionate type lover type of person. So I feel like if they could actually communicate, there might be something there. I know all the women are going to come for me, because everybody and their brother and sister seems to like him. Like, he is
Yeah.
everybody's favorite. He's actually, fun fact, he's not my favorite, but he's everybody's favorite. I actually like Joey. Joey's my favorite.
So
Sorry, Mr. Bobby.
speaking of everyone's favorite, so Kelly and Billy and Stephanie and Gabriel get picked to go glamping, which I had to Google. I'm not like cultured, right? So I didn't know what it was. So it's basically just like camping, but not like in the woods, just like outside in a safe
Yeah,
place where there's no animals that will eat you alive. So glamping
exactly.
sounds fun for me. So I like that. So guess who was a little jealous at that situation? Jose kind of felt like, okay, Billy, keep your hands to yourself, and make sure you are respectful of Kelly. It's interesting because we thought that Jose was kind of ignoring Kelly after the speak English situation. Like he wasn't really giving her that energy anymore. But when he saw that she was going to be going on a date with a guy that she has been vibing with, that really bothered him. And I was like, okay, so Jose really does have feelings for women in the house, because I questioned it. I questioned it the whole time. I was like, does Jose really have feelings for these women the way he says that they're so beautiful and he can see into their soul and he loves them so, and he loves spending time with them? And I was like, or is this all just like blah blah blah, chat chat chat, I know I'm hot, I can win you over? He really did get jealous. He was, bothered by the idea. But speaking of which, on the opposite of that, Stephanie and Gabriel took things really slow. And I think that's kind of what Stephanie was looking for, like what you were saying. Gabriel was like, I respect you. I'm not going to try to like sleep in the bed with you. I'm going to respect you and give you the time that you need. And let's build this connection the right way. And I feel like that's exactly what Stephanie needed. And I feel like maybe Ryan was just a little too aggressive with the way that he was feeling and vibing with her, because I feel like Stephanie needs that space and she wants to feel like she's in control, and Ryan also needs to feel like he's in control. So maybe that was why they couldn't make it work. So we watched Billy kind of abandon Kelly in the bed. Like he was like, I don't want to sleep in the bed. I don't feel comfortable. Well, he tried to say that the bed wasn't comfortable to sleep in, but he most so didn't feel comfortable sleeping with her. He said that she was like hammered, like drunk or whatever, and he didn't want to do anything with her. What do you think the deal is? Because they were pretty touchy feely in the sauna in his room with his mom, who barged in and was like, not tonight. But they were pretty touchy and feely. So what's the deal with Billy? Is he feeling Kelly or not?
I kind of feel like he is kind of like a tease, because I kind of feel like his mom is like a tease too, because she knows she's cute and, she knows that these guys are feeling her. So she's just kind of like, oh, do I, don't I? And I feel like maybe her
Mhm.
son might be a touch of that as well. Like, he's very, like, kind of reserved. He's laid back. He's not really like in your face like some of the other guys are. And I I don't know. I really didn't see their vibe. Like, I didn't. Like, when they even like when they were like hooking up a little bit, like it just didn't seem like it flowed. I don't think that he's a good match. I actually really want to see her with OG Brian.
Really?
I do. I actually liked that, and I feel like she liked him too, because in the beginning of the season, she was trying to get with him like off of the first episode.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I'm trying to pick like opposites where one person is kind of like the aggressive crazy, and then the other person's a little bit more so they could like tame the person. So I don't know. I know a lot of people are frightened of the show. They think very like ill of it, but it's like you really have to think outside the box when you watch this show. It's actually just for entertainment purposes. Like, in the end, it's kind of fun. And if, the roles were reversed, then it would probably be a different story. But because the women's are the ones that are the aggressor and the women are the ones that, get to, have fun, it's always a bad thing. And it's not. It's just for entertainment purposes. Everybody's an adult on this show. The
Yeah.
only thing that gets to me is when they do some of their like challenges together, like the rubbing of the down, like, and he got his mom. Like, that was a little crazy. But I mean, other than that, it's just a show. Have fun and watch it.
So next week we're gonna watch Jose and Kelly sneak out of the house and go on a date. So that connection might be building back up. So we're gonna see where that goes, because Jose wants to show Kelly what it's like to be with a real man, because he feels like Billy is not stepping up. So we're gonna watch that next week. I'm George Mossey. Thank you so much to my co-host Heather C for this week's TLC Weekly Roundup, the George Mossey Show. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. And please follow my co-host too. Her links are right here at the bottom. We'll talk to all of you guys very, very soon.